Hey guys, it's Brendan Borman and I'm back for another 270 video. Today I'm going to be playing in the game of 270 3 different matches, all with African American candidates. The first game I'll be playing as Harriet Tubman. February is Black History Month, and actually in my social studies class as a teacher, we are showing the movie Harriet in class. It's a film that was released in 2019, and if you've not seen it, it's on Netflix. I highly recommend it. It's historically accurate and depicts the story of Minty, the slave who runs away from Maryland, makes it into Pennsylvania, earns her freedom, but has to leave her family and friends behind, then chooses to go back to Maryland to rescue her friends and family, and through the Underground Railroad is able to free over 70 slaves in her lifetime. So she's a true American hero. I really like the story because it depicts slavery very well. It is rated PG-13. There is some language. The N-word is used. So make sure you know that before you start watching it. On turn number 1, I opened up into Youth Vote and Women's Movement. And on turn number 2, I am closing off both of those national groups. These national groups will help me with extra cash funds that I can use to pick and choose my spots of where I want to attack my opponent on the game of 270. We are fighting for 270 electoral votes to be the next president in this fictional game to win the White House, and I am yellow. I'm going to invest my money into states that will help me earn extra cash bonuses by having different combinations, the majority of different state groups. And because of the way this is set up, I have Republican opponents. I have 2 different Ron DeSantis's, and I also have a Donald Trump who is occupying the Old South. The red DeSantis is fighting Trump in the Old South, and the maroon the maroon Ron DeSantis already has Texas and is now going after California. From a game perspective, I don't want my opponent to have that. So I'm deciding whether or not if I should attack him in California or in Texas. So I'm actually going to not choose California because DeSantis over in New York, red DeSantis, could decide to go after high tech and town and gown. And I really don't want to be fighting more than one player. So my extra cash, I'm just going to dump right now $200,000 into Texas. And because the maroon DeSantis decided to go to California, he now does not have enough money to defend a big steal. Now, Texas is a great state to have in any multiplayer matches, but especially when I'm playing Republican opponents, a lot of Republican bonuses require or are a lot easier to get if you have Texas. And so if I have it, that means my opponents can't have it. And again, there's the pressure in California from the red DeSantis. So, I get to pressure the guy I wanted to, and he also has to fend off a pressure in California from the other guy. So, great start. The Old South bonus is the only other bonus awarded, and so I can go up in all 3 of the manufacturing states here. Let's go and get Pennsylvania, Illinois. I ran out of time, but I needed to get Wisconsin to get manufacturing, so I won't quite get the bonus this turn, even though I had the money for it. It's not the end of the world. By getting to Pennsylvania and Arizona and Florida and Michigan, I also have a path to swing states on the next turn. So I'm just kind of putting some feelers out. Let's go ahead and on turn number 8, get that manufacturing bonus with the combination of Texas, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Tennessee. And then I should be really close to agriculture with Florida and Wisconsin. I just need either $42,000 more of ag money. So if I can flip Illinois, that'd be a great state. But that's not the focus right now. The focus is getting that swing state bonus. So I should be able to get that with Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Florida. So here comes manufacturing, $86,000, swing states, an extra $90,000 of state group funds. Now, the pressure came in Florida, which is okay. We have the money to spend, and typically you're going to want it to defend Florida with someone like Harriet Tubman with that 50% African American bonus, because $150,000 of AA money to spend is a lot for any candidate, especially someone who already has a ton of EVs already secure. So now, though, I'm facing pressure in Texas. We are actually tied. So a clash will help us just because we have the bonus funds and our opponent does not. So even though we're wasting $200,000, we keep the state next turn, and our opponent wastes almost all of his money. So this is the point of the game where you have to navigate when to defend and when not to defend. I want to defend because I'm keeping my bonus. I do want to use my other money to try to expand as much as possible, not just for access to the states on the ballot round, but also to go up in a more efficient way to keep the bonus versus overspending in a really important state and then not having extra funds later because I overspent to go up in those states. I hope that made a little bit of sense. Now, we're going to continue to go up into Texas. I have $600,000 in free cash. I also have $160,000 in swing state money. I am not pressured in swing states. Otherwise, I would have used that money. Now, I could have put it into Florida, and that would have been perfectly fine. I was also tempted to spend it in Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania would have been an easier way to guarantee manufacturing for the rest of the game, assuming I keep Texas. It's also 19 electoral votes, but really, if I was going to go for a big flip, Illinois is probably the state that would give me quite a few bonuses or bonus potential. Definitely the ag bonus, like I mentioned already. It'd make it a lot easier later on to get Latino, but I'm just entering into a few empty states. Again, I need more information. My opponents are locking states pretty early. Some of the smaller states, especially by Donald Trump, are gone, and I don't know who's going to be the next one eliminated. So all I know is I went into California. California gives me access later on to potentially have Texas in California. I can go up probably need to go up in New York here very soon. Actually, I'm just a New York away from the African American bonus, having Tennessee and Michigan and Florida. So here's the ballot round. Likely no one is going to get to 270 votes needed, and so one player is going to be eliminated. So actually, let's just count on the Maroon DeSantis being eliminated. So instead of defending Texas, there's a chance he may not go for it. He may go for something else, but I'm going to enter New York. That's the key. I'm going to try to steal Illinois, and I'm going to leave Texas out there. So I'm saving a ton of free cash. And there's actually 50 seconds, so we might just want to skip this here and not watch. But we'll watch a couple here. So 120, it looks like red DeSantis is out. So the key to that turn was, even though we gave up Texas and we gave up a ton of electoral votes just in that one state, 40, that actually allowed the other DeSantis to stay. We're just going to go ahead and take it back. That leaves us enough money to double pip into New York, enter into Massachusetts. We might have a ballot round because there was not a clash in Massachusetts. Let's see. So there's African American, there's Latino, there's manufacturing, there's ag. Look, all those bonuses disappear from the other guy. Yeah, now we have 6 state groups. We still have all of our national group money. I can go up to the third pip in Cali. Could actually probably take it next turn, but I didn't have enough time. He defended by 1 pip. And actually, Illinois is locked. So maybe I could have just locked Illinois instead of being cute in California, but it shouldn't matter because that player is going to be eliminated next, and then those states will be ours anyway. I have $260,000 of African-American money. However, almost all of the old South states are already locked. So, again, that doesn't do a whole lot except for maybe guarantee we'll keep Florida and Michigan and New York. And 246 EVs. Here's a ballot round. Likely not going to be able to flip enough, but we'll go up to the third pip in some of these states that we are not quite there. Locking New Hampshire if possible, although I'm predicting a clash there because he's locked pretty much everything else. I think Massachusetts would be a little bit of a waste to try to lock. So maybe we can get up to the third pip just in case he is eliminated, which, again, not going to happen. So D.C. is locked. Turn number 18 will skip. And DeSantis is going to be eliminated with the lowest number of electoral votes at this ballot. Because we are not at 270, the game continues. And we now inherit California. We inherit Illinois, Colorado, Kansas, New Mexico, Kentucky. And so we are well over 270 EVs. We can try to lock New Hampshire again. And we still have $1.87 million. The map is looking quite yellowish. Lots of pink up in the northwest and the southeast, but all four big states and the rest of the country is going to back Harriet Tubman. So again, if you do not know about Harriet Tubman, I would encourage you to educate yourself. She is important in American history, and I think it's really cool that you can play her in 270. Next, we have Shirley Chisholm, the first U.S. representative in Congress who was an African American. And so we'll be playing as a Democratic candidate inside the game. 270 put her in a couple years ago, and one of the most prominent 270 players, Eugene V. Debs, commonly plays as Shirley Chisholm in the public lobby. Shout out to Eugene. So the thing about Shirley is she is not one of the strongest candidates. So we're playing against both DeSantis brothers. I say brothers, I don't know if they're brothers in real life, but to me they're the DeSantis bros from the previous game. We're playing against a Bernie Sanders, and we are playing against a Booker. And so I think at this point, I am pink. I already have New York. I don't know if I should go 2 pips or 1 pip in California. I think 2 pips would be risky. Yeah, we would have clashed with Bernie, so we did clash with Booker. And so that does give Bernie a good, substantial lead in California. That's likely going to be uncontested for a while. We do have access, which is good for the future in case we get into a money hoarding situation. However, since the 2024 update, New York is really hard to start out of. I don't recommend it. Now, it's a good state for Shirley because she has that African-American bonus. However, there's already pressure in Florida, and I have a hunch that Bernie is going to be a pest in New York for pretty much the rest of the game. So he has that national group bonus, which, by the way, is exactly what I would do. Texas and California in multiplayer is pretty much the meta. He can get high tech and town and gown, 2 of Bernie's highest bonuses. Plus, he's really close to adding Latino and honestly export if he does the right combinations after that. So I'm not really feeling as confident with this start as we did in the last game. And so although it's just $37.5 thousand per turn, there's the early New York pressure. So and we're also facing Texas pressure. Okay, if I can pull this game off, I'll be pretty impressed with myself because, this is like starting off playing the game of Risk in the middle of Europe, and all of a sudden you get attacked on all angles, or you are playing poker and you raise with like ace 10 suited on like the big blind, and then every single person after you calls and then you whiff on the flop. It's like, okay, I'm still got a chance, but something good is going to have to happen. Okay, so I'm playing around with numbers here. The key thing is I can't spend that much money. I would like to go up and get the manufacturing bonus, but I don't know if I can pull the trigger. Let's take away our funding here in Texas in Michigan and Illinois. Let's just defend in New York. I know it sounds dumb, but if Bernie goes for it, he's going to be too powerful. And so turn number 7, he's 0 spent. Okay. So now the key is we are at the 3rd pip. We are qualified in New York for bonus funds. He could still overtake me, and these extra states do not help me secure any kind of extra money, and it might actually encourage someone to take it from me. There is pressure in Illinois, no pressure in Michigan, so let's just end the turn. Bernie's going to spend $200,000 again in California, and New York is ours, but it looks like Booker now is going to pressure. So the good thing is, because he spent enough money, Bernie that is, he does not have enough money to spend $750 into New York. So it is now safe to go up in Texas, Illinois, and in Michigan. I'm going to open up in, no, I don't need those states because I don't have enough money to do oil and gas. Let's do Wisconsin. Let's do an extra manufacturing state. Maybe I should have done like Ohio, because Wisconsin is not enough to recoup all of the cost from a potential steal of Illinois later. But still, I really like that turn. So Latino, $75,000. Manufacturing, $82,500. Those are going to help me defend Texas, but also expand. And Latino can help me in New York counteract Bernie's youth vote. So I've got 10 seconds here. I'm going to go ahead and open up into oil and gas states. That's not necessarily my initial plan, but also going up into Tennessee, not only for African American, but for manufacturing. So no other state groups. Man, down to 31 seconds already. Time flies when you watch the ticker of what happens. You can skip that, and I generally try to watch it, especially when I'm streaming a match or recording a match for you guys, because I think it helps you understand some of the dynamics of the game. It's just, if I sit there and watch, then I'm going to have like 5 seconds to analyze the board, and I'm good, but I'm not that good. I need to see what my opponents do, and then I can react to it. So 1-minute timers are definitely a neutralizer, because you have to go with your gut. And I think players are more apt to make big steals on 1-minute timers. And so it's definitely a different dynamic than just a regular old game all the time. We are able to flip New Mexico. New York is defended without any other spending. There's a clash in Ohio. Not that we're getting close to a ballot, but that will guarantee that there's no ballot. And there is oil and gas. So again, the oil money will help us in defense of Texas. Also, if I'm able to save oil for a round, maybe I could dump that money into California to give us access. Bernie is entering some states, including Florida and Georgia. There's a flip of Illinois. Okay, that was not good. That will take away manufacturing, because I got cute and did not go up in another state. Do have Tennessee, but that's not enough. But we had to defend New York, and there it is, the defense of New York. So even though we lose manufacturing and we lose Latino because of the all-important Illinois flip, we defended New York from Bernie, and we were able to keep our oil and gas. So let's max out New Mexico, and hopefully this Illinois flip works. It does. It's a lock. That will bring back a lot of our bonuses. Welcome back manufacturing. Welcome back Latino. And New Mexico is a clash. So turn 13's in the books. We're up to 143 electorals. A couple national groups for other players. We just have Latino, and we just have oil. I said manufacturing. What am I missing here? Did someone take... Oh, I lost oil. Okay, so I have manufacturing. Sorry, I misread the board. So we're going to lock Arizona. Michigan is defended. And we have a Booker 0 spend. Michigan, we're going to lock. I feel like Bernie is either going to make a big steal in Michigan or 0 spend again. I can't really afford to lose that to him. So let's go ahead and spend some free cash there. 10 seconds left. I'm going to spend just my oil money. And I'm going to just get a couple pips in Massachusetts. Just a couple EVs to breathe a little bit. Not required to get a flip. Okay, there's the defense in Michigan. Saw that coming, Bernie. Not going to lie. Although, back to annoying pressure in Texas. Just like the last game, we were tied on the third pip in Texas. So I've got to make an important decision here. I'm spending some cash. I'm just getting into some pretty cheap states that have electoral vote possibilities. As turn 16 comes to an end, okay, there's the forfeit. Light blue is out. I thought maybe Bernie might drop out, but that gives us... Okay, so he did go up in 1 pip in Texas. That's good. We were able to go up 2 pips and avoid the clash. Pretty much take everyone else out of the running in Texas. And then there are a couple more states, New Jersey, Alabama, I want to get into. So DeSantis low spins. Bernie locks Connecticut. Let's go ahead and skip turn number 17. It's down to DeSantis and Bernie as one of the next people to be kicked out. And it is a ballot round. So we are sitting pretty with 194 electorals. We could potentially 0 spend, but I think it makes sense for us to get into Cali. I know we already have access, but if we double pip there, that pretty much will guarantee us the game if Bernie is eliminated. And so we've got DeSantis locking Indiana, DeSantis holding New Hampshire. New Jersey is a clash. So we're going to hold New Jersey, I think. Pennsylvania's locked. Yep, so Bernie is eliminated. We did not quite get to 270 votes. And so we will not be winning the president on this round. However, we're in great shape. And we actually spent so much time watching the feed that we didn't get to spend any money. And we're back to a ballot round. So, again, we have 1.16 million. Let's go up to the third pip in California. We're going to flip Idaho. We're going to flip Montana, Minnesota, enter Missouri, defend New Jersey, and see how those moves panned out. Looks like so far so good. Flip of Idaho. Minnesota does flip and is locked. Missouri is entered. Montana flips. New Jersey, no action. And Texas flips. Okay, so took our eyes off the prize for just a second, and we lose manufacturing, which goes over to DeSantis. Although it doesn't matter because yours truly is still winning with 238 votes, and we get it back. However, it just makes us play a little bit more because if we'd kept Texas, we would have won the game with 270 electorals. It was actually 278. So let's get into Ohio, a few other states that we are not yet into. Actually, we didn't get it done in time, so I'll have to do that next time. Try it again. Oregon, Wisconsin defense. Going to double pip where it's appropriate. Going to flip in other smaller states. We have $1.6 million, so there's really no reason to save at this point, especially as states continue to get locked up. Our lead is down to 283 to 255. This is a ballot round. And we should be able to flip and lock pretty much everything that we want to. So we're going for some expensive ones like Pennsylvania, North Carolina. I'm going to go for some inexpensive defenses with our oil because we have so much bonus money. Let's just go ahead and defend it. My home state of Missouri, we're going to go ahead and try to take. Wisconsin, and I can't quite get up in Nebraska, so let's do this. 5 seconds. Able to spend almost all of it. Waste about $400,000. And the timer is off, which is always a good sign. That means that the person, one of the players, has won the game. And we spent way, way, way more than he did, so it's mathematically not impossible, although he does come from out of nowhere to steal Montana. North Carolina flips back to Shirley. And we are going to be in the 300s when all is said and done. Pennsylvania coming up after the Ohio flip. Both are successful. And actually, Wisconsin flips back orange. So, 345 is going to be the final vote tally. And we are 2 for 2. Let's see if we can make it a nice 3 for 3. So, we've played with an independent candidate. We've played with a Democratic candidate. Now it's time to play as a Republican candidate. There's Frederick Douglass, who we could choose. There's Scott. There's Herschel Walker. We've got Candace Owens, but I think we have to do Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, how can you celebrate Black History Month without talking about the king himself? So Martin Luther King Jr., he in the game is a Republican and a Democrat, and we'll wait to see who joins us. It's our friend Ron DeSantis back again for another game. All right, well, I guess we're just going to roll with this. It may not be super competitive, but maybe he's better in a 1v1 than he would be in a multiplayer match. Now, Ron DeSantis typically is a swing states guy. Martin Luther King, we have several options. Let's go ahead and go in national groups. I know I've been doing that a lot lately. That's not necessarily an overpowered strategy. It just is going to make this a little bit more entertaining and fun of a match for me, as I can let this guy lead and then I can attack whenever I feel like I need to. So turn number 2, we are going to go ahead and solidify both of our bonuses. That's what I like about the national groups. When you don't go for big conservative or labor, if you go for the other two, you can get both on turn number 2 and then really start playing on turn number 3. Now, this guy, it looks like, is going to go after some big states. So he's into Texas, he's into California, and do we go for national groups or not? That's really the question here on turn number 3. He did spend some money on national groups himself, and so that was the tiebreaker for me to decide, yes, I am going to go in labor. I'm also going to go in women's because now even he's going up in New York, so he can really go multiple paths. But if he has New York and he has Texas, that does nothing for him. Now we know we need to attack him in California, and he's actually going to attack me in evangelicals. So spending money in national groups and against your opponent, I would have gone 1 pip instead of 2 pips if I were him. I'm going to go up in labor and environment anyway, so I guess I could defend evangelicals here. I could go up 2 pips and make him spend more than me, but he actually didn't even do that. He tied me. So he gave me a free turn of having that bonus, evangelicals, for 1 more turn. So now we'd better get into California because, like I mentioned, we don't want him to have Cali, Texas, and New York. That would be a nightmare. So this is what my brain is telling me to do, is to go to the 8th pip. I could lock it. I could go 1 pip. Let's actually just go 1 pip. I don't think there's a world where he goes just 1 pip, except he gave us a free turn of blocking it, so maybe he does. And then the rest of that money can go into California or savings. and so he does not spin in Cali. Oh, man, he went to the 8th pip. So my brain was in the right area. So we do lose that bonus. Evangelicals is not a game changer, but pretty much he's probably going to lock it this turn. And really, even if he doesn't, he only has enough money to go up in California a little bit. He can't prevent me from stealing it. He also can't secure a bonus himself. So let's let him spend money. So he's spending in California. Again, that does nothing by itself. So we can go up in New York. And now he's super confused. He's like, do I defend Cali? Do I defend New York? And we have 1.12 million. So let's go up to the 3rd pip into New York, because that will block him from getting high-tech in Town and Gown. And we can open up into more high-tech and African-American states. Let's go for stuff, definitely Virginia and Maryland and Delaware. And then we can go ahead and go Florida and a few other swing states as well. Just give us some African-American pivots if we decide to go that route. But he does spend $300,000, and here's the expected clash in New York. So again, that helps us because we have more free cash. Even though we did spend a little bit more money that turn, no bonuses change hands. So probably not the most efficient move ever, but it's a 1-minute timer, and I feel very comfortable where I am in this position. I can go up again in New York. Again, there's nothing he can do to get the bonus. He could low spend. Let's see, just by doing some quick math here, I don't want to be short on some high tech, so let's just add a Connecticut and a Utah to play it safe. He does pressure into Arizona. And he does leave New York alone. So he goes up into Texas, 400,000, and there's some pressure in youth vote. So probably not a great strategy on his part to pressure a national group on turn number 9, especially such as youth vote, which is so small. So this is the guaranteed steal in California. And it's also with $200,000 left over. Why not go up in Florida? That will give us Latino. That'll give us high tech. That'll give us Town and Gown. It will also give us export. And he does the same thing again. He ties us with youth vote. So I don't really see the purpose of that. Not really sure. Okay, no, I'm used to the math for export being Texas and Cali. I'm actually short on export, but I'm really close. So if I'd have gone up in Michigan, and that I would have gotten us there, because basically half of Florida gets us to 200, and then the 50 would be like the same as Illinois. Yeah, I'm one state short. So Michigan will do it. He's only spending $250 to my $447, and he's spending in California, which is going to be a futile effort because we have bonus money, we have more money, we have no motivation to let him have it. So, yeah, the more he continues to do this, the more likely he is going to really get blown out of the water. Youth vote flips, so more free cash goes his way, but now we're up to 5 state groups, including African American, which is the big one, $150,000. I'm not going to let him have youth vote. There's no way he defends it, so let's just go ahead and take it. Let's get into Texas real quickly and end our turn. Georgia and North Carolina will also give us the Old South bonus, and we have a clash in California. So this game is over. If I were playing on the other end, I would hit the forfeit button right now. And guys, there's nothing wrong with hitting the forfeit button, especially after turn number 8 when it's a guaranteed win for your opponent. It's actually a respectable thing to do. It's similarly to playing chess and you have the king and you just tilt it over. It's an act of respect towards your opponent. You give up. That's okay. He doesn't have to give up. Maybe he doesn't know any better. And maybe he's going, wow, this Martin Luther King guy, how does he get so much money? Is he hacking? Is he stealing money from the game? Maybe he's confused. But if he is confused, you can watch 270 videos on YouTube. You can learn some strategies, some tips, and maybe not be so confused. So if you're here, I welcome you to subscribe. Help us get to 5K before Election Day. If not, that's okay. Maybe you'll catch us on the next 270 video. But MLK, he is someone who I don't see a whole lot in the public lobby. We did have a Martin Luther King tournament, I think a couple years ago. That was pretty fun. So, yeah, pretty much just entering into some open states at this point. Next turn, there's already a clash in Alabama. I might double tap some of the closed states. But from this position, honestly, a skunk is not out of the question. I could get all 538. Let's try to do that, but in a rapid way. If it's not possible, if he locks one, or if a ballot is imminent, I'm not going to delay the game to just get a skunk. But going to go ahead and use my time to 1-pip all of these empty states. Again, to force a ballot, you need 100 electorals locked in, as well as every state being possessed by one of the players. Now, under this game, it's kind of hard to tell because it's a red versus a dark red. Other games is a lot easier. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. But we doubled up on his spending. Let's go ahead and skip. Okay, we lost Town and Gown, export. What did we lose here? We didn't lose. We lost New York. Okay. So, no, sir. We're taking New York back. Gonna lock. Actually, let's not lock. Let's just enter states. Let's defend. That was pretty tricky of that guy. Did not have that on my radar. Maybe I should have. Up to the 3rd pip. In a few states here, the more I do now, the less I have to do later. And I'll end my turn. And that's turn number 16. So Latino comes back to us. $2.18 million, 482 electorals. Going to lock Mississippi. Going to go up to the 3rd or 4th pip in some states, 2nd pip in other states. He only has 359,000, so he cannot double pip Cali. Now, New York is out of play. I can take the guaranteed steal in Texas. Let's just flip as many of these EVs as possible. If I have a lead in every single state, should be good. Up to the 3rd pip. And then I need to hit the Northeast here. Ran out of time for Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont, Maine, and New Hampshire, but I can get those next time. And he's 0 spent. So that's actually going to be enough for 538 because I think I overtook him and was already in every single state. So yeah, that is a wrap. A perfect 3-0 for Black History Month. It was fun. I like doing different challenges like that. If you have an African-American candidate you want me to see in the next video, let me know who that is in the comment section. And I can do it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your support. Remember, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out tremendously. Join the Discord if you have not already done so. And I will catch you guys in the next 270 video. Thanks, guys.